Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Post-Gazette Pirates show presented by FanDuel, and a happy Sunday to you. A slower day at Pirate City, and if you'll notice from our backdrops, it wasn't okay to be outside. There was a whole bunch of wind, and even with windscreens, wasn't really agreeing with the microphones. I'm sorry about that. So we're back at our place, but ready to discuss a day of Pirates baseball. We are one day out from the first full squad workout. Ryan O'Hearn is in the house. Brandon Lowe is in the house. AJ Burnett is in the house. That was a big storyline for today. We'll talk about all those things. Marcell Ozuna as well. He was not on the field, but he was in the building taking his physical and all that fun stuff. So look forward to having a little baseball talk here on a Sunday with you. First, let's start with some FanDuel odds. We usually do this, sportsbook.fanduel.com. If you're interested, the Pittsburgh Pirates regular season win total in 2026, the over-under is 77.5. A little lower than I would think. It's minus 122 for the over and the under plus 100. Colin, without odds, over-under 77.5 wins. Which way are you going?
I still am a little more optimistic than that, but I feel like FanDuel, I feel like the sportsbook is finally starting to believe it was up from 76.5. It's true difference there. Huge deal. Big deal. Stop the presses.
Yeah, it's a little nudge. Maybe if they do something at third base or to fill out the rotation, that changes. We'll see. I think a lot of the improvement, though, is going to have to be, what's at Pirate City at this point, but we'll see. Anyway, all right, so Brandon Lowe, Ryan O'Hearn, they're both in camp. We'll talk about that. That was the subject of your story. You were around talking to those guys. What'd you take from those conversations?
Optimism. I feel like there's a bit of a different vibe around camp today than there'd even been in the past. It just kind of feels a little bit more real to me now that Brandon Lowe and Ryan O'Hearn were there. They're both the new guys. They both spent a lot of time introducing themselves. Brandon Lowe kind of mentioned that this is completely new to him because it's the first time he's ever been somewhere other than the Rays, and he felt like he was meeting a whole lot of people and he didn't know where stuff was, and that's new to him. But he was excited for the opportunity. Same with Ryan O'Hearn. He's been with other teams before, but they're both excited about the guys who are going to be their teammates with the Pirates. Excited to start contributing. Excited about the Marcell Ozuna signing, and just glad to be here and glad to get to work officially starting with full squad workouts tomorrow.
They better be excited. Come on. No, I was impressed by O'Hearn, and you were around for Lowe more. I was talking to pitchers at that point for a story about AJ Burnett. We'll get to that shortly. But one of the things that jumped out to me about O'Hearn was him talking about winning and how much of a conversation topic that's been. He's not the first person that said that either. That is such a pervasive theme. And O'Hearn knows how to do that. I think I'm trying to say this in a way that is not denigrating to anybody who's been here before, but there's a different vibe with O'Hearn, in my opinion. You can tell he's bought in. You can tell he wants to be here, wants to be a leader, wants to embrace these expectations. It's just very noticeable talking to him. It's very pleasant talking to him. I think he's going to be a leader for this team and very good.
Yeah, I was also impressed by his response to what Marcell Ozuna's signing meant for him.
Oh, yeah, good point.
Yeah, because he's the one who's most directly impacted by Marcell Ozuna's signing. I wrote about it, and we've talked about it a bit on this channel, but Ryan O'Hearn was previously scheduled to, but slotted in to play a lot of DH. Wasn't planning on playing the outfield that much. Yeah, he could use there as a fill-in, but now that changes a little bit. So I asked Ryan O'Hearn about that, and he said that whatever he can do to help the team win is what he wants to do. He wants to be around good players. He wants to be around guys like Ozuna and bat around them in the order and sees the benefits of that. And he understands that this might be a little bit different for him. He's going to be expected to do something he hasn't done that much of in playing the outfield, but if it helps the Pirates win, he's all for it. He also said that he plans on spending a lot of the time this during spring training working in the outfield and getting comfortable there. Something he hasn't done too much. He hasn't played more than 175 innings there in a season before, but looks like he'll be doing that this year, and he's looking forward to that.
So I have a question for you about Brandon Lowe, and not so much about what he said. I'm curious about how they use him. Where would you bet Brandon Lowe to start the season?
Ooh,
And I don't know. I preface it by saying I don't know. It's just something that I wrestle with. Like, I'm not sure if he's a 3-4-5. Do you put him in the 2 spot? A little bit, deeper down, 6-7, try to get some length. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm really not sure either. And this is strange. It's I know that obviously it's early, and we'll learn more about this, seeing how Don Kelly assembles the lineup, how he bats different people where. I think that Lowe is someone you want to get as many at-bats as possible, so I want to have him high up in the lineup. But if he's second, then who's your one-hole hitter? Do you have O'Neal Cruz batting first? Do you have someone who's guaranteed to get on base more? Do you want the uncomfortable at-bat Cruz has? Do you want to kind of play old school and go with the speedy fast guy and have Mangum there first if he's even every day in the lineup? I kind of wrestle with it. I think that what do you think?
I just want to answer. I want Cruz leading off. Plain and simple. Right. I want Cruz leading off. I can go in a number of different directions from there, but I want Cruz leading off. And I'd probably keep Lowe out of the 2 spot for that reason. I don't want to go lefty-lefty. I might put Reynolds there. Mm-hmm. Maybe that moves Lowe to 3rd or Hearn 4th, but that puts Ozuna 5th. I don't know if I like that. Either way, I love Cruz leading off, man.
I haven't thought about this exercise, this roster lineup now that Ozuna's in the order, because previously when I thought about it was, okay, you've got 4 lefties and a switch hitter in Cruz and Lowe and O'Hearn and Reynolds and Horwitz, and trying to figure out how to go.
I forgot about Horwitz. Yeah,
how to stick with a super lefty heavy lineup. I mean, I think that maybe you go O'Hearn 3rd, Ozuna 4th, Lowe 5th, but that's a little deeper in the lineup than you want. I guess I'll go with that answer now. I'll say 5th.
It's debatable. That's the fun part. I mean, we don't need to have a lineup on February 15th. It's just something to think about, and the Pirates actually have enough hitters to where this is a legitimate conversation, not just like, okay, well, we'll cluster the 3 good ones at the top and then pray for the other 6. Like, it's pretty good. All right, the other half today.
What'd you make of O'Hearn's answer on where it would hit in the lineup? Because he was asked about that.
Didn't surprise me in the least, man, and I loved it. That's what I mean. He'll hit anywhere, doesn't care. It's up to Don Kelly. He'll play anywhere, doesn't matter. It's up to Don Kelly. It's his job to be ready. Man, if I'm running a team, that's the answer I want. I love it. I mean, when Ryan O'Hearn answering that, he knows he's going to hit in the middle of the lineup. He's going to hit somewhere meaningful. He's going to have a chance to drive in runs. He better. But, I love, that's what I said, a leader, a guy with a really high character. I like that answer.
Agreed.
All right. You want to get Burnett stuff?
Absolutely. We've waited this long. That's my bad.
I know. No, it's good. It's good. I loved seeing him there, man. I loved seeing him there. You and I were talking off air as we were driving home, got the news. And just what a big deal this is. This is something that Pirates fans have wanted for years. I understand why. It's something AJ's wanted for years. This was a misstep for the Pirates as far as I'm concerned. I believe you agree in that assessment. Just something they should have had veteran players in camp. But I'll frame it to you this way, man. You saw AJ Burnett walking around Pirate City today. What was it like?
It was great to see him out there. I think that he was excited to be there. I think the coaches were happy that he was there. Don Kelly certainly made sure he was invited. Happy birthday, Don Kelly, by the way, because I'm sure he watches this show. But yeah, and the players appreciated having him there. He was having conversations with Bubba Chandler, and Carmen Majinski went up and introduced himself, and he watched Cam Sanders in the bullpen, and it's cool that he's there and allowed to be a resource. He mentioned this. He said he's not trying to be the pitching coach. He's not trying to show them this analytics or try to save careers or anything like that. He just wants to be a resource. He wants to be able to help wherever he can and doesn't care how that is. And that's exactly what I want out of him. I want to let AJ Burnett be AJ Burnett, have that tie into a previous generation of winning Pirates baseball. And if guys have questions for him, they can ask. They can use him as a resource. It's not intrusive. He's just there and available. And I'm excited. It was good to see him today, and I'm excited to see what he does the next few days.
Yep, couldn't agree more, man. And I'm not interested in him helping Bubba Chandler with the slider. I'm just making up an example. Bubba Chandler's fine. Paul Skeens is fine. Jared Jones is fine. These guys have ability. They're being coached. There's all kinds of data flowing around everywhere. Like, what you can get from AJ Burnett that you can't get from any sort of computer program or camera is what it takes to win in Pittsburgh and what it feels like when you do. Because I'm sure it is difficult as a player. Like, you're up against a lot of challenges. There's a lot of things that have to go right here. It probably is easy to get down on your luck, especially late in the year or something like that. It feels frustrating. But AJ Burnett can talk to them about, look, and he answered this in his post-practice session. They'll remember you, man. You will have a special place in these people's hearts if you're able to do it. And so I think today was the first step. I hope it's only the first step. I hope he stays in communication with these guys. AJ Burnett can be such a resource. I love his style. I love the way he carries himself. Like, he is one of the Pirates with the most stroke that I've ever seen for fans. Like, what AJ Burnett says, all of a sudden people put their pitchforks down and they start listening to AJ Burnett. That's the way this group needs to be. That's the swagger they need to carry themselves with. So getting that in front of people, making that tangible, creating a relationship between AJ Burnett and this group, it's just, like we're saying, it should have happened a long time ago, but it's cool to see.
Something I found interesting is Don Kelly mentioned that he hopes this leads to more opportunities in future spring trainings. And it didn't sound like he was just talking about AJ Burnett, though I'm sure he can be invited back. I think that the way I interpreted it was that Don Kelly's interested in having some other Pirates back in the future to help out and be a resource and be themselves around these guys. So who do you want to see at these next spring trainings to help out the current team? Who are we saw Blast today. Like, I know he's there for multiple different roles, but to see him and Burnett, who else do you want to see around this group?
That's a good question. It's something I've been pondering all day, man. Really. Russell Martin could add some stuff. I think among recent Pirates, he'd certainly be there. The elephant in the room is 22. When Andrew McCutchen is no longer playing, you want him around. And I know the old timers are going to scream like Maz or something like that. And believe me, I would love to see Maz here, but he has closed that door. Like, he's not interested in doing it. A Kevin Young, I wish he was around more than he was. I know he's a broadcaster. I know he's around some, but I'd love to see him as a former Pirate guest instructor. Maybe a Jason Kendall, embrace him a little bit more. I don't think you're going to get Brian Giles to fly across the country. Maybe a Jason Bay. I don't know. Freddie Sanchez, Jack Wilson. It does feed into a bigger conversation topic, Colin, and not necessarily one we can tackle now. But I wish the Pirates had a better relationship with alumni, or alumni were more present. And I think it's going to change under Don Kelly. To your point, I do think he really values that stuff, as he should. I'm not so sure it was the same way with Derek Shelton. And credit to Donnie for doing this. And then, yeah, I'm with you. I want to see where it goes. 22 is probably the next one, though, as long as he hangs them up.
Yeah, this felt like a first step. And having a positive alumni relationship and having these guys around, it can only help. It's not going to hurt. There's these guys want to do it. The players want them around, at least to some extent. You don't need 100 different alumni around for all 6 weeks of spring training, but having guys around to be a resource and being accessible, it can only help. It can only help.
Yep. All right. Good talk. We'll be back on the fields tomorrow. It's first full squad workouts. Big day. Second biggest day down here other than pitchers and catchers reporting. You have anything else?
No win, please. But one thing I do want to say real quick, we're just about at 2,000 subscribers. Want to thank you guys, all of you who have already subscribed. And if you haven't, like and subscribe. We're just about at 2K. It would be awesome to get there on the day of the first full squad workout. So thank you, and you feel free to hit that button.
I like that fish over your shoulder, by the way. It looks good.
Good fish.
Yeah, it's good fish. It's a running joke in our house. We keep talking about the fish in our dining room. So you can see the fish more if you like and subscribe. You get all of this content and so much more from our Post-Gazette North Shore Drive podcast and YouTube channels. For Colin Beazley, I'm Jason Mackey. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Thank you for checking out this content from Post-Gazette Sports. If you watch this video on YouTube, please like the video and subscribe to our channel. For all of the sports coverage the Post-Gazette has to offer, visit post-gazette.com.